Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Kelly. This is a life well spent, and on this channel I am tracking my financial journey, and as I learn different things, as I make different decisions, things like that, I share that information with you. You will also find budget videos on my channel where I, introduce my budget. I will close out my budget at the end of the month, and I will do what is today's video, these sort of weekly spending tracker videos. And I do that so that I have an easier time keeping track of what I've spent. I used to use cash, but with the pandemic, a couple of things. I didn't really want to touch cash. For the, cash is filthy. And it's one thing like when it's normal germs, but when we're adding COVID germs to that, no thank you. And because of COVID, I was going into stores less. I was ordering things online or on an app and having it like delivered or picked up in, a parking lot. So cash was really just not feasible. And I found myself overspending because I wasn't keeping track of what I was spending in the same way. With cash, it's really easy. If I have $50 in a category, when the $50 is gone, that's it. And I can look in my, I was using cash envelopes, and I could look in my envelope and say, oh man, I only have $10 left in my restaurant budget. So if I'm going to eat out, it's going to have to be fast food because I can't get anything else for $10. So, and that was really easy for me to do and really easy for me to keep track of my spending. Not being able to do that, however, meant that I overspent and I needed to come up with a system. So that's where these sort of weekly spending check-ins come in. So I will do them on like the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, because it's after, a week. I do it for the first 3 weeks, and then typically the fourth week will be sort of wrapped into the budget closeout for the month. So, because it just doesn't make sense to do a fourth week in like 3 days on its own. That just doesn't make sense. So that's where we're at. So without further ado, we will get into this week's spending. It's actually been a pretty chill week. I think that's mostly because my school year ended, and the entire last week I have felt like doing absolutely nothing. Like nothing. Finally on Sunday, I felt motivated to like do some rearranging upstairs. And I'm trying to like declutter and just get rid of a bunch of stuff and what have you. And my house really needs like a cleaning, like a spring cleaning top to bottom, which I normally do in the spring. But I was finishing up my internship and, my graduate program, and it was nuts. I had 320-page papers to write. If you've been watching a lot of my videos, you would have probably heard me mention that before. I had a month where like or a couple of weeks where my restaurant budget was just through the roof because I was just going and grabbing food somewhere because I had to spend the bulk of my time writing papers. 320-page papers was the minimum of 20 pages. They ended up being more than 20 pages, but yeah, had to crank those out in about 3 weeks because I am a master procrastinator. I do my best work under pressure. Truly, I don't try to do it. I really did try to work on those papers like throughout, but I just I just did not have any inspiration, couldn't get any motivation, because I didn't really know what I wanted to say or what I wanted to write. And then as the pressure hit, like I just, had something and I ran with it, which is typically how I operate. Just to let you know. So, for this month so far, this week so far, I should say, I have a really weird set of expenditures here. So I spent $215.16 at Lowe's, but I actually was buying a grill for my mother. Hers just like went kaput. We tried fixing it. And there was she needed a new burner, and she bought the burner insert, and needed new grill tops. And, we actually couldn't get the old like grill burner thing out. It was almost like the heat of the grill melted the screw and like welded it to the platform that it was in, and we could not undo it for the life of us without spending like $80 on tools to like buy a specific thing that would cut this specific type of screw that we could just like yank it out. And when my mom, and we really were actually considering doing that, and then my mom looked up the cost of replacement grills for this particular grill, and the replacement grills were like $100. So by the time we spent money on this tool, money to replace the grills, which like they were like chipping into the food, like they needed to go, um, you could buy a new grill for that. And so that's essentially what we did. We found a grill that was like 198 or something like that. So we bought that, and my mom also bought, oh, there was something else. I was like kind of FaceTiming her with her to make sure we had the one that she wanted, and then she saw something else and was like, "Ooh, get me that." Oh, it was a lighter, like one of those like stick lighters, because we don't have it. I think they used to, and I think they gave them to me. But she decided she wanted one in her house. Whatever. So it's weird because my parents, up until about the time I was 18, were smokers. So having a source of light, flame, uh, was never an issue. It was like, oh, okay, well, just go. One of us has a lighter on us somewhere, but that's not really the case anymore. So yeah, that was that. I bought a thing, a can of Raid while I was there to spray for ants, because I don't know how they're getting into my house, but they were getting in. Now they're gone now. I haven't seen them in ages. So, well, I would say since the 8th, because I came home and sprayed right away. So I managed to. I don't actually know where they were coming in at. I tried using ant traps and stuff, and I finally just gave up, and I was like, screw it, I'm spraying. So I got a bottle of Raid, and I don't care about that. I got a refund of $6.35. I think I said this in the last video. I bought a filter for a fuel filter for my my what? What did I? Oh, my lawnmower. I'm like, I can see the lawnmower. I just could not think of the word lawnmower. For my lawnmower, because it wasn't working well, and they told me I'd probably just needed to swap out the filter. So they gave me a filter. Turns out it was not the right filter. It's kind of my fault. I really didn't know what kind of mower I had. I just sort of figured like I'd see one that looked like it and be like, that's it. I knew what model of engine I had, and to be honest, I kind of thought that's probably all I would need. It's a Honda engine, and I thought somebody'd be like, oh, the Honda engine, well, that uses this filter. So I didn't really pay too close attention to the rest of the bit. So, oh well. But anyway, so I returned that. I got the refund. I went to Wendy's for dinner because I was starving. And it was getting late, and I did not have time to eat anything. And I have a thing where, like, if I go too long without eating, I will get a migraine. Like yesterday, that was my life. I did not have enough to eat for breakfast. Was not able to catch up for lunch, and like I spent most of yesterday afternoon like in just a state of migraine, and it sucks. I went to the farmers market. We have a local farmers market. And it's fantastic. It has a lot of like local farmers. There are some like not so local. They're kind of like traveling farmers, but they do have really good produce at times. Like, so I will always go like get a watermelon from this guy. I will get corn from him when he has corn, because he will have it earlier than like the local people. And it's usually pretty good. But then once our local stuff starts coming around, then I buy it locally. Let's see here. So in order to do this, like I went to the ATM, I got out $100 in cash. Some of this was, $37 of it was actually spent at the farmer's market. And I still have the $63 in cash. Now, some of the groceries there, my mother is actually going to be, she hasn't yet, but she's going to be paying me the $215 for the grill. And she is going to be, paying me for her share of the groceries at the farmer's market, because we split a bunch of stuff. Which we always do, because when you buy like a half bushel or a quarter peck or something, like, you're buying in bulk and it's a great price, but like things are going to go to waste because it's more than you can possibly eat. And if you want a variety, like I could buy a dozen ears of corn, but I'm going to be eating corn like every meal every day. But if I give them, if I keep like 4 for myself and give them 8, then like we can, spread her out a little bit. Likewise with watermelon. Like I can't necessarily eat a whole watermelon. I could when I had my dogs, because they loved watermelon, and I took watermelon as it was getting like kind of old and like a little mealy. Like it was still good, it just didn't have great texture. I would put it in a blender, blend it up really good, and then I had these molds, these like paws and bone excuse me, silicone molds that I'd put in the freezer, and then the dogs would have like a watermelon icy pop. Excuse me, I do not know. I'm going to pause and get myself a drink. Sorry about that. I do not know. I could kind of feel it coming on, and then I was like, I'll just do a little cough. And the more I cough, the worse it got. So anyway, so I still have money left over for the farmer's market this week, and that will come out of that amount of cash. So I wasn't really sure how to actually register that, because I think this is literally the first time I've gotten cash out since the pandemic started, and certainly since I've started tracking my spending like this. So I don't know. I sent two separate, why does that look different? I sent two separate, see that? There's like an extra space here for some reason. Did that even register both over here? Yeah, it did. Okay. $50 comes from my mother. And I think she sent that to me last week. And I need to take this call. Hold on. Okay, back. Sorry, it's gonna look like a really quick edit. I have a friend who's been out traveling, and I told her to call me if she, ever needed anything, just wanted to chat, what have you. I was trying not to bother her while she was doing her thing. And she just called, so I thought, oh, I better take this because this is the first time she's called since she left. What was I saying? Okay, so yeah, these two go to a brokerage account for my niece. $50 is from my mother and $50 is from me. And my mother, ooh, I gotta figure out, I think I need to enter in the transaction where she has given me the money. Oh, there it is. It's down there. Hello. So it came out before it, like, her transfer dropped. But now we have it sort of set up to do automatically, so that shouldn't be an issue. Went out to eat at, had some beer and a pretzel at Trivia, and went to the grocery store, spent $17.40. Got $50 for my niece's brokerage account, and my mom gave me the $41 for our TV and cell phone plans, and then I ordered some Thinks off of Amazon because I've heard really great things about them, and I want to try them because I figure I easily spend that on period products anyway, so why not try to spend that on some underwear, and then I don't need to buy the period products all the time. So actually not a bad week considering. I only spent on myself $179.87. The rest is, money that went to a brokerage account or was my parents because I bought them a grill. Yeah, nothing has come out of any of the sinking funds yet. I do have an auto renew, and I think like in the next day or two, there's an auto renew on for Carbonite, which is the thing that backs up my computer to the cloud. And so I have that, and I really like it. I feel safe with it. I like it better than Time Machine, frankly, because I still have this, like, you need the storage space on iCloud and all of that nonsense. So anyway, I have enjoyed Carbonite for a while. I keep using it, so it's going to auto renew. I think probably in it, like today or tomorrow, I think is when it's set to renew. And it's just once a year, so that is it for my spending for the week. I am getting ready to go spend a whole bunch of money because I'm going to drive myself to IKEA. So there's going to be, let's see, very possibly a Turnpike transaction because I need to get on the Turnpike. And depending on how much money is in my thing, it might trigger pulling more money over. So there might be an expense there. There will definitely be a couple of IKEA expenses. Definitely a tank of gas. And some food. I'm going to see if I can make it to Wawa on the gas that I have and then just stop and eat at Wawa, but I don't know if I can. So we will see. I actually thought about doing a, like, what I've spent today kind of vlog. So I think I might with my phone. But we'll see. We'll see if I end up actually using any of that footage and putting it online. We'll have to see what it all looks like in the end. But that's it for this week. Thank you so much for watching. If you have any questions about anything that I do in my budget or how I operate anything, how this works, leave a comment, let me know. I'd love it if you subscribe, like this video. If you want to see more things like this, I would be very grateful. Thanks so much. See you next time.